What's going on, everybody out there? It's Heath with Live Case Break Sunday Night Personals.
See, told you pitchers can play defense.
Hey kid, think fast.
Hockey Tire, official tire of Major League Baseball.
Shishito, chorizo, raw beefo, fried shiso, french fries, iced chai, pad thai, baked pie, half stack, taco pack, lobster mac, piggyback, pork chop, soda pop, kebab, sour top, hot flat, over now. Noodle soup, cannibal, ice cream scoop, whipped cream, blue dumpling, chicken wing, beef king, and roast crispy onion rings.
We are America's Kitchen, DoorDash, every flavor welcome.
Hey, Jesse from DraftKings telling you there's 100 million reasons to listen up. DraftKings is celebrating the return of sports by dishing out up to 100 million across everyone's accounts, including a guaranteed 1 million cash to a lucky person. Just download the DraftKings app and enter our free Survivor pool to grab your share of up to 100 million instantly in our golden ticket giveaway. Everyone wins something, and one person is guaranteed to walk away with $1 million. It could be you. Download the app now and score your share of the 100 million stack.
Regular baseball tonight studios. Dodgers home run galore against the Rockies this afternoon. 7 in total. 2 of them coming off the back of Mookie Betts. Bellinger is also homer. Max Muncy 11-2. Dodgers on the verge of a sweep of the Rockies, guys.
Mookie Betts in that MVP conversation. So is Machado. So how's the NL West? By the way, the Dodgers leading by 9. If it ends that way, their plus 1 differential is going to be plus 80. Use the reference that Strom made to Grinchy involved with Nicholson. Like, this is Tiger Woods, the Dodgers, and the Padres are everyone else, you know, whether it's Nicholson or David Duvall at some point trying to chase him. They're playing great baseball. The Dodgers aren't losing. First pitcher Blake Taylor fouled off. Machado's homered in back-to-back games since September of last season. In August. Now the Astro bullpen issues as Taylor throws that one and Cronenworth tends to foul. So 5 times they have led going into the 8th inning. Not the case today, but they led going into the 8th inning positive. But on the other side, they are 12-2 when leading after 7. Hero again today, Fernando Tatis Jr. Great defensive play, reach base, which allowed Machado to go yard. The 0-2 for Taylor, breaking ball. That's a fair ball. That'll do it. Take a look at the home run swing, and no going to break. That the Padres are 15-0 when leading after 8 innings. 15-0. Machado doing a dance. After he goes deep, the Padres look to close out another win at home.
T-Mobile
T-Mobile and Sprint have merged. Now, T-Mobile has thousands more locations across the country, more towers, and more coverage than ever before. T-Mobile is America's largest 5G network, with more 5G coverage than Verizon and AT&T combined. Experience it now with our best deal ever. Unlimited for $25 a line for 4 lines, with 5G access included. It's time to join T-Mobile.
This is Corona Hard Seltzer. The only hard seltzer made with pure beach vibes. With a taste of blue skies in every can. And a refreshing splash of fruit flavors. 0 grams carbs, 0 grams sugars, 90 calories. There's a lot to like about that. It's another way to find your beach.
You're an American who's now in charge of a football club despite possessing very little knowledge of the game.
1, 2, 3, woo!
Counting us all back, embracing change.
Coach, tell these boys what the first rule of my fight club is. No fight club!
No fight club.
My name is Ted Lasso, and I'm from Kansas.
Oh, you're not really bad at impressions, man.
Ted Lasso is tragic. He's not even a real coach.
Free as the wind blows, born free to follow your heart.
Axe, get clean, smell ready. And so it begins.
The biggest sports event in the history of sports. The return of sports. It's a cornucopia of sports. It's everything. So don't miss anything.
Two-run home run, Manny Machado. That's the difference in this one. The Padres leading the Astros 5-3. 3-5-1 for Houston, and the Padres have not committed an error today. They got Emilio Pagan on the mound. As our telecast today is presented by Taco Bell. 1 of 5 when it comes to saving opportunities. 7.5 ERA in 12 innings.
Yeah, Carl, we talked about it earlier that this would have been Kirby Yates. This would have been Drew Pomeranz, but neither one of them were available right now to Jay Singler. So after the big year that Pagan had last year with Tampa Bay, he's the #1 option right now to fill that closer's role.
Got roughed up against the Diamondbacks last week. Gave up 3 earned runs. The 3 subsequent appearances, just 1 earned run against the Rangers. He also had a clean 1 in the 3rd against Texas and against Houston. A couple of days ago, an inning, a walk, picked up that save. 0-1 to Correa in the corner, 0-2.
Yeah, right now with the shadows, should be a little bit even more difficult for Carlos Correa to pick up the spin. Pagan uses that 4-seam fastball up in the zone really well.
Here's a look at that light switch shadow. And the 0-2 chase.
You've been watching the same thing I have, Eduardo, where in the past when he's had success, he gets 2 strikes on you and elevates that fastball. But I think your point about the shadows might change that a little bit, because having pitched with shadows many times with day games at Wrigley Field late in the game, it's hard to pick up spin. You see the ball coming out of his hand, it's in the daylight, and next thing you know, it disappears. Well, it gets into the dark. You don't know if it's rotating or what it's doing at that point.
No.
Crew Chief Alfonso Marquez says no. Think he held up.
I got no, yeah. That pumped-in crowd noise had me thinking he was going to affect the umpire, and he's going to ring him up on that. Marquez is one of the better umpires in our game today.
2-2. Back. Go to John Brickler.
What's up, Trent? You ready for your golf tryouts?
And Alex Rodriguez had the call. That game will move over to ESPN at the conclusion of the Astros and the Padres.
JB, thanks. Great job all day today. We talked about Brett Strom and the way that Dusty's trying to piece his Astro bullpen together. story of the day besides Tatis's great catch and Machado's home run. 2-2, that sounded like a broken bat. Going back and making a nice catch was Jake Cronenworth. Has been this Padre bullpen.
Pretty slow to start off with here, Trent. This is the first Sunday night that I'm going live. So the people in the community, aren't used to having somebody go live on a Sunday. So we'll see if we get some entertainment in here, some people chatting.
A little bit of that credit needs to go to Zach Davis.
Did you see Luka hit that game-winning shot?
The guys that Jay Stingler had to use on Friday to be able to nail down that one-run victory.
I'll take it another level for you with Larry Rothschild also helping out Jay Stingler in that dugout, putting these pitchers in the position of success, giving them the best leverage possible to find success. This evening and this afternoon they've been able to do that.
Popped up lazily, Tucker. Who's out there in right field? And
Was Derek watching with you or just you?
Tatis Jr.'s day, he delivered a big single. That one off Zach Greinke. Then the broken bat hit, which dropped here right before Manny Machado's 3-run homer. He also made this defensive play to start the double play. And I gotta believe we're gonna go see this one where he rained 60 feet into left field to make the play. It's his world, and we're all just trying to observe it right now. Fernando Tatis Jr.
He's playing the game, isn't he?
He sure is. Great to see, isn't it?
Really is. Really is. Great for baseball. Just thinking about how long it took before we could put baseball on TV. Fun to watch somebody like that, the joy that they show.
Right there from Elio Picard.
Scratching for the win. How are you? Card dictator.
Who are 4 games back in the loss column to the Dodgers. LA wins against the Rockies 11-3. Betts goes 3-5 with 2 homers.
Was that you, Trent?
Going out.
Card dictator.
Going on with relievers all over Major League Baseball.
He's trying to stay in the ballgame.
Okay, nice. I like it.
A little bit awkward, and then all of a sudden he took more time to go back behind the mound. He was digging on the mound, but I don't think the mound's a problem right now as it was earlier in the day.
Yeah, Trent, Luka had 43 points, 17 rebounds, and 13 assists, and hit game-winning three-pointer as time expired in overtime to win the game. So now that series is tied 2-2 with the Clippers. Yeah, and that was after he rolled his ankle really bad the other night. I didn't even know if he was going to play this game. But Porzingis didn't play. He just sat there. Guess he had a sore knee or something like that. But the Mavs were down, I think it was 21 in the first half. It came all the way back. Went to overtime, and I don't know, at times it didn't look good for them. And somehow they scratched and clawed their way, and he hit that three-pointer. That was crazy. Yeah, it's tough when it's just one-sided.
Dislocation there, but Eduardo, as you mentioned, not the velocity that we're used to seeing from the guy. He's a 96, 97 mile an hour guy when he's right.
Man, 15 minutes. Did you ever run across him when he was living there?
Strike away from their 18th win of the year. 3-2, popped up, playable. And Hernan looks
No.
like he's going to get through it, and the Padres are going to win again. And they wiped
Oh,
out
yeah?
the Astros here. It wasn't last night's beating, but they've now made it 7 in a row.
Wonder how he's gonna do this year with the Falcons.
2013.
Gurley.
And Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado and that great bullpen today, the difference. Final thoughts up?
What a way to go.
Think his knee is totally gone.
They're rolling here.
Yeah, we'll see.
They are as well. We'll leave it to the home guy, Sutton, for the final thought. For Eduardo Perez, Rick Sutcliffe, I'm Carl Ramos. Thanks for watching the Padres win. Here's Matt and Alex, the Phillies and Braves.
Oh, Phillies and Braves are coming on. Yeah, for about 5 games. What do they got? Ito Smith, and did they get another rookie running back down there in the draft?
Finish off the Houston Astros in San Diego. Another win for an exciting Padre team. Matt Vasgersian, Alex Rodriguez, Buster Olney here in studio with you for the Phillies and Braves. A 2-out base runner is what Josh Tomlin deals with in this his second start of the year, as that one's hammered foul off the bat of JT Realmuto. Andrew McCutcheon popped out on the first pitch he saw. Reese Hoskins singled. Bryce Harper struck out. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Realmuto. And that's all you've missed.
Something to watch. Tomlin's been throwing the cutter a lot more. Been pretty effective. Far more effective against lefties. You saw it in the strikeout to Harper. Not so effective against strikeouts.
Yeah, it looks like Ito Smith.
And the home run foul there.
And then Brian Hill is the third guy.
3 balls and a strike. 2-time All-Star.
And Kadri Ollison
Certainly in Philadelphia.
is their 4th guy. Never heard of that guy.
He's even allowed to hit the free agent market. That phone's going to ring a lot this winter. We'll talk about his future in Philadelphia and do some reckless speculating as we continue.
That's a dangerous pitch right here.
Wow, and Tomlin gets a call with a fastball.
Here's a link, guys. A few people on.
Yeah.
If anybody's looking for a personal box, there's the link to the site.
As a right-handed hitter here, you're eliminated inside. You're looking out over the plate, thinking right center field.
Got him. The cutter on display. A couple of strikeouts for Josh Tomlin and a scoreless start to the night in Atlanta.
Sixers got swept. So I don't know if Brett Brown, the coach, is going to be back. They may have to get rid of him.
TikTok. Where can you find something crunchy, melted, only $1? It's Taco Bell's $1 Nacho Crunch Double Stack Taco. Order ahead and pick yours up at our contactless drive-thru.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count. Gatorade has carbs to fuel and electrolytes to help replenish, so you can count on a proven formula. Nothing beats Gatorade.
All right. Did you know Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies? Wow. That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Adina Menzel to sing your own theme song.
Tara, Tara, look at her go with a fresh cup of joe. Getting down to work early. Following her dreams into taxidermy.
That's tax attorney.
I read that wrong, oh yeah.
Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th.
After 225 years, you'd think we'd look to our past. Nope. We're looking to our future. Where we're innovating every day to raise Jim Beam for 225 years to come.
Gear up at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's during the Fall Hunting Classic. Your adventure starts here.
Well, Brian Snitker sitting atop the post for the time being in the crowded NL East and not taking anything for granted in his 5th season as Braves manager. A couple of division titles under his belt. This is how he lines the Braves. Atlanta's Taco Bell starting lineup features Swanson Freeman and Travis d'Arnaud, resurgent since his bounce-back season as a Tampa Bay Ray last year. He's hitting
Inciarte in the Acuna-less, Albies-less Atlanta lineup. It is 26-year-old Zach Eflin on the mound for the Phillies tonight. Last started on Tuesday at Boston. Couldn't get past 4 innings, allowed 4 earned runs. Got a lot of runs of support, however. And as you just saw, some really dramatic splits for Zach. He has been deadly against right-handed batters. Exactly the opposite story against left-handed hitters this year. Dansby, Swanson, Dixon to start us out. Swanson, Freeman, and Darno. Swanson's been hot. He's hit safely in 8 in a row. 5 multi-hit games during that 8-game streak. And it's a ball and a strike from Zach Eflin.
Eflin 6'6". There was a fastball, slider, curveball, and change. Money pitch is a slider, not a spin rate guy. Part of the reason why he got hit hard when he tried to pitch north in the zone.
Yeah, the evolution of Zach Eflin, and it's not a completed story yet, is an interesting one. Guy who came to the big leagues with a lot of promise. First-round draft choice. First-round supplemental pick, to be exact, by the Padres back in 2012. That was a pick San Diego received as compensation for losing closer Heath as a free agent to the Miami Marlins. After a year and a half in San Diego, traded to the Dodgers, who on the next day sent him to the Phillies in exchange for Jimmy Rollins. So all 5 of his big league seasons have come here with the Phillies. And a guy who you hear that potential tag hung on all the time. Still 1-2 to Dansby Swanson.
And Matt, when I talked to Zach Eflin on the phone yesterday, he mentioned that, last year he really went away from trying to pitch north and south in the strike zone, getting back to his strength, pitching to contact, using his two-seam fastball. He's performed better since he made that shift back to what he knows best.
Nothing but sinkers here that are fouled away by Swanson. Yeah, I visited with Brian Price, the outstanding pitching coach in his first year with the Phillies, former Major League manager, of course, years in Cincinnati. And the Phillies want Eflin to be a combination of both of those guys. Guy who still throws his four-seamer, but can still use his sinking fastball. Swanson sends that one well hit into the left, into the corner, where it bounces up and over the wall for a ground rule double. A runner in scoring position for Freddie Freeman.
Too much caffeine. 470-foot homer yesterday. We're gonna bunt first pitch. We get to see you guys in 5 days again. That's nice. Yeah. Another Sunday night too, I think.
Thanks to Freddie for the schedule reveal for our viewers, and we will have Braves Phillies again next week. He's right about that. And here's Freddie to try to pick up a run.
I remember when we played against the Braves, every time I got to first base, I have one word to describe him, and it's gentleman. Always nice, always in a good mood, steady Eddie. By the way, Murphy and Chipper were the same way.
Ball and no strikes to the 4-time All-Star. It's also good at that. When you watch Freddie Freeman swing the bat, especially from a side swing, there are times where it looks like he is beat on a good fastball, and it's almost as though he picks it out of the catcher's glove and just fillets it into the opposite corner. He is so skilled as a handler of the bat. He also likes it down and in.
You mentioned why lefties hit Eflin better. One of the reasons is there's nothing to push those lefties off the zone. They're very comfortable. Sinkers away, changeups away, a bit of a flat slider. If you're a left-handed hitter like Freeman, this is a golden matchup for you.
Eflin still looking for his first down. And that one missed the corner, 2-2. Yeah, it is concerning. If you're the Phillies and you look at the numbers, man, so against right-handed batters, he's been great, but against lefties, he's allowed a major league high slugging percentage, a major league high on base, a major league high OPS, which makes sense. Full count now.
It's a very, what we call a very comfortable at bat for a lefty. You can lean out of the plate, think left center field, anything with a wrinkle, you can go right center.
Big early plate appearance in this one. Nobody out, runner at second. 3-2. And he loses Freeman on ball 4. Three starts this year. Eflin had walked only 5 batters. 3 of those came in that last assignment at Boston on Tuesday night. And they want to roll over the signs. This coming from Joe Girardi, as you saw. Right, makes sense. Runner at second.
Right. Girardi, a former catcher, thinking out there. He looked at the little piece of paper, tells his catcher, let's go with the second sign, shine after 2. And they're back on track.
Here's Travis Garno now. Was used as a pinch hitter yesterday after taking a ball in the knee on Friday night. First pitch is grounded up the middle. Segura flips to Gregorius, and the Phillies get the double play.
It should have been Taylor Made, wasn't. And a nice toss, Didi across with an Ozzie Smith-esque play. Pitcher's best friend, the double play there. And a big pitch there for Eflin. One more pitch to get out of this inning with no runs.
Marcell Ozuna stands in the way. The two-time All-Star has been at his best against the Phillies this year. 6 games against Philadelphia, 7 of Ozuna's 18 RBIs. At the big 2-homer game in the series opener on Friday night, drove in a run last night. Sharply into third. The rookie third baseman Alec Bohm's got it. First and second to start the inning, and Zach Eflin hangs a 0.
When we started our business,
Yeah, Trent, at this stage of the game, I think I agree. And I think they ought to try to trade a couple guys away, and maybe even Ben Simmons is one of those guys. I'm not sure. He doesn't ever shoot. So either that or take Tobias Harris and Al Horford, send them packing. They both have big contracts, but try to get them a wing shooter that they can knock down shots. Because the Sixers definitely don't have that right now. They should have never let it go with J.J. Redick.
Normal prostate size. Don't settle. Choose Force Factor Prostate for the #1 fastest growing men's health brand at Walmart.
Here's your chance to learn at home and create a rewarding career. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation right now.
You know, I would keep Embiid's under the contract for 5 years, so I'd keep Embiid and build around him. But yeah, they could move around some things. I like Josh Richardson; he's not a bad player, but they might be able to get some good stuff back, or maybe a new coach can get them guys to play.
There's no replacing real Chris Paul.
I'm not sure.
Just like there's no replacing State Farm. You want the real deal? Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The Celtics, they're young. All them guys are going to be around for quite a while if they stay together. I don't know if Giannis is going to stay with the Bucks or if he's going to leave. The Heat, they're fairly young. Jimmy Butler. Excuse me. So. Yeah, but like I said, at least I want at least the coach gone and see what they can do with somebody different.
Indeed, especially late in the postseason, there's no one better than Cole Hamels. But the Braves are so desperate that Braves manager Brian Snitker told us today that he needed to put Tomlin out there because he's played such a big role, hasn't played such a big role in their bullpen, but he needed to get some innings out of the starter.
Tomlin back to work after a couple of impressive strikeouts in his first inning tonight against Didi Gregorius to lead it off. Gregorius, Segura, and Bohm.
This is a great pickup for the Phillies. Obviously, very well relationship with Girardi.
Yeah, me too. I hope the Flyers can keep going. We'll see this how they do the next series here. They've been playing pretty good. Because I don't know if the Phillies are going to do much. That's for sure. Their bullpen keeps blowing leads.
Charlie Blackmon continue his quest to hit 400. 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Wednesday, doubleheader, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yankees and Braves, followed by the Dodgers and Giants. And then on Sunday, another doubleheader for you. This time, Giants and Diamondbacks at 4.
Looks like at least the Flyers found their goalie for a long time. They spent so much money over the last 5 to 10 years on bringing in goalies, and they can never find a guy that really fit. So Carter Hart looks like he might be the guy. And he's young, so.
Over the fact that nobody in the East has really taken control. Yeah, the Braves are in first place, but they've got the 4th worst starters ERA in baseball. In the NL, that is. The Mets have the 3rd worst starters ERA in the NL, and the Nationals have the 2nd worst. The Nationals we're talking about here, and now they're without Steven Strasburg because of the carpal tunnel surgery. Nobody saw this coming.
Trent, how long do you think it'll be till Wentz goes down and Jalen Hurts is the starting quarterback with the Eagles? They need Wentz to stay healthy, that's for sure.
So if you're the Braves and Phillies, you just got to stay close.
I mean, if the Phillies get the bullpen situation straightened out, which they think they have.
Yeah, well, he's got that Jalen Rigor or whatever his last name is. He's a speed burner. And I don't know if Deshaun Jackson's going to be healthy, back, whatever, but Alec Bohm, first major league home run for the Phils. Nice. Phillies up 1-0.
Here's the breaking ball. Waits on it very nicely and hits it a long way.
Oh, he sat back on that breaking ball. Nice.
Nice swing, gets through it, and splash.
Well, he's going to want that one back, even though it's wet.
Absolutely.
Right? No silent treatment. 1-0 Phillies.
And in 2020, Matt, no need for negotiations over the baseball.
That's a good point. I mean, the guy who goes out there in the waiting booths might deserve a handshake or a couple of bucks. Sharply hit into right field and a base hit for catcher Andrew Knapp. You know, we asked Joe Girardi today if Alec Bohm would have been here, there's your first career start. I mean, the Phillies lost a bunch of games because of COVID delays and COVID cancellations, bullpen problems, blah, blah, blah. He said, no, he would have been here at some point this year. He's that good. Here's Adam Hazley.
You know, he's a natural born hitter. He's young. He's got the size, so he's going to hit the power. But he understands putting the barrel on the baseball, contact and power. He's got a ways to come defensively, but he'll get there. He's a young guy. But talking to Rob Thompson today, their bench coach with the Phillies, he raves about him and loves his work ethic and making it.
He just wants to talk to somebody. He just hit his first big league homer, and he doesn't have an audience yet.
When you hit a home run, you do not want social distancing.
Wichita State guy, first rounder back in 2018, part of a growing class of 2018 draftees to have debuted this year. His homer puts the Phillies on the board first tonight. You know, one of the things that the Phillies liked about Alec Bohm's profile in college is that he improved his walk rate and lowered his strikeout rate every season as a shocker.
Matt, you mentioned that every time, the first thing I look at when you see a young player with statistics is walks and strikeouts, because it reflects, especially early in their career, some level of anxiety and how they're dealing with that. First 9 games in the big leagues, 6 walks and 6 strikeouts. That's pretty good equilibrium. Okay?
Well, he was their minor league player of the year last year. And again, you know, we don't get too crazy over minor league numbers. However, he was one of just 3 hitters in all of minor league baseball with more than 20 homers and a strikeout rate of 15% or less.
And that's even more impressive when you're 6'5", 220 pounds. And I love that stat, man, where strikeouts, fewer strikeouts, trending the right way. That's really a nice note for a young hitter. As they get older, a little more power, so the strikeouts keep going up.
We always, as fans, tend to gravitate to new, shiny things, and Alec Bohm is that new, shiny thing in that lineup right now. Same way Austin Riley was last year when he debuted in Atlanta and hit a bunch of homers. It's a swing and a miss. Tomlin finished it off. Hazley still there. We send the guy in there to get that first career homer ball. 1-0 Phillies.
It's the wild. It's how Ivan wants things to be.
Sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith.
Disney's the one and only Ivan. Rated PG. Now streaming exclusively on Disney+.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how. With the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit. And if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it. During the Ford Summer Sales Event, get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. See your local Ford dealer today.
Oh, wowzers, what a special family. Special, like my Chips Deluxe. With even more real chocolate chips. Only elves can make cookies this good.
Trent, when you guys start school?
And here we have another burst bite in Denmark. You look close.
Jamie, are there any interesting photos from your trip?
Ouch. Okay. Boring. You don't need to see that. Oh, here we go. Can you believe my client Stieg had never heard of a home and auto bundle or the rental Ever's good bundle.
Wait, you're a lawyer?
Only licensed in Stockholm.
What is happening?
31st, so before Labor Day. Okay.
It's a real story.
You guys doing the hybrid where you're only going like once or twice a week and then the other days are at home?
I can do baseball. Me too.
If we can play baseball, I'm in.
Oh, we're doing baseball?
Yup.
Hang on.
You're watching Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. Telecast presented by Taco Bell.
Nice.
Join the undefeated at Bank of America on August 28th as we honor Jackie Robinson and host a courageous conversation on racial equality with teams from Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Back with Alex Rodriguez.
There are a lot of kids going out for the golf team. And how many may actually make the team?
And go get Matt Adams, Adam Duvall, and Austin Riley. And Matt Adams, as he so often has had to do, is looking at the
14 go out and 14 make it, or if just 14 go out and how many make it?
little time on the IL for Matt this year.
They take 8.
He has spent
All right.
this season as the Braves designated
Well, you got a home course advantage up there, don't you?
in yesterday's win. Adams, Duvall, and Riley. And a 4-pitch walk opens.
Is Woodstone Northampton's home course, or do they play somewhere else?
The web chips and the splendor. Give us high heat and the filthy stuff. Give us the game's best. Braves, Phillies. Give us Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN.
Same matchup, shifting venues to Philadelphia a week from tonight. Adams aboard now, the right fielder Adam Duvall. Duvall has saved his best work for his home ballpark this year.
Okay.
29.
I thought Blue Ridge, or Blue Shamrock, I should say, would be Palmerton's home course.
In his 12 games at
Huh.
Lewis Park this year. Boy, that is a tough sinker.
And that's when his demeanor changes when he faces a right-hander. He went 4 fastballs in a row to Adams, walks him, and comes back with back-to-back bullets.
Yeah.
He needs to pitch.
Yeah, I think when it stopped being the country club and it became open to everybody, I think that's when Palmerton might have switched.
Looking, 4-pitch walk and then a 3-pitch strikeout for Zach Eflin.
3 great fastballs, backdoor this one, and a perfect pitch.
One out, one on now for Austin Riley. Riley's put together a modest 4-game hitting streak. Homered yesterday.
4 in a row. Now give Brian Price a lot of credit, the pitching coach. He's a terrific. I had Brian Price back in the day when I was with the Mariners. As good as pitching coach as you'll find. But 4 balls in a row to a lefty, 4 strikes in a row to a righty. That's mental, not physical.
I mean, right? If it's working for you. At what point is a hitter, though?
Trent, did you see the Mike Trout Superfractor from 2009, his auto rookie card? Sold by auction, I believe is like $3.8 million. That's crazy.
If someone hits a ball hard on a sinker or a breaking ball, I go up there and look opposite. So, man, if you're hitting in front of me, you hit a sinker 4 feet, I may go up there looking for a breaking ball. There's another fastball.
I'm looking nasty right here.
So 10 pitches.
LeBron James, about a couple weeks ago, the rookie card out of Exquisite, which is like a really high-end product, especially back when it first came out. And I had one of them, the 1 to 99, but the 1 to 23 just sold for I think 1.8 million. I wish I had that 1 to 99 back. I wouldn't have to worry about Allie's college or paying off my house.
He says you can't try to avoid the bat before you get to 2 strikes. In other words, early contact is okay. Make him hit it on the ground, i.e., use your sinker, right? Get the ground ball.
Perfect example is this inning what Price is talking about.
Yeah, there's tears. Yeah, definitely, Trent.
Pitches, he attacks. And what does he do? 2 strikeouts.
Ball with no strikes on the switch hitter, Johan Camargo.
Manny, how good is he against righties this year? 4 for 36. Outstanding.
At the start of play tonight, he had struck out half the right-handed batters he faced all year. That profiles as a closer, to be honest with you. Again, the Phillies are not really so much like results concerned. Of course, results concerned, they want him to go out there and dominate and win, but they like this guy a lot. And they're not willing to give up on him based on the wonky first half of the season he had last year. He's a big part of their plans this year and beyond.
And it's a whole new coaching staff. You have Girardi, you have Brian Price. There's a mentality, there's an approach, and there's
Minus 30. Whew.
hitters, and there's also a philosophy that Brian
He was locked in. I mean,
pitching coach perspective.
that's crazy. I can't even finish minus 30 on a PlayStation game. I played Blue Shamrock last Wednesday, and I shot an 87, but it was an ugly 87. Like, I should have easily been down near 80, but just took a couple extra shots here and there that were like, bleh.
Like, don't take the fully loaded chips, don't hog the guac, and never take the last one. But with the $5 Grande Nachos box from Taco Bell, you can break all the rules, because this meal's all yours.
Yeah. 72. So that's 4 days, right? Nice. Yeah, I think you shoot 80 this week. You'll definitely be on that team. I remember last year, Aunt Marnie's friend, her son, Tyler, I can't remember his last name. I think last year at the districts, he shot an 82. Yeah, Hager, that's it. He shot an 82, and he got, I think, second. You know, now I don't know how tough of a course it was where they played districts at, but so you shoot 80, start getting into the high 70s, and you'll be right up there in the high school top guys. Old Homestead, yeah. I played with your dad there one time, and I think he shot minus 5. It was crazy. Like, every shot that he approached the pin, it was like right there. If that's where they play it every time, you got to get over there and play that here and there so you can get used to that course, so you know that course inside and out for when you make it to that level, which might be this year. So nice. What'd you guys finish in a scramble? How many under? Nine under.
For the Phillies, a 1-0 lead for Philly
It's respectable, that's for sure, especially on that course. I'm usually 9 over after 3. No. Ooh, it's pretty slow in here tonight, Trent. I think the guy who I work with on this site, usually he sends an email out. And I don't think he was able to send an email out to let everybody know that I was live. So, thus the slowness. Oh, you guys missed a couple putts. It should have been 12 or 13.
I'm pretty sure the gentleman knows which one is the Bone Homer ball. So there's the first one. And, oh no, now we're confused. Here's Hoskins. Might need some ESPN video help to help sort that one out. He's in there somewhere lurking like Arnie Johnson and laughing, peering through the bushes.
What's up, Kenny? How are you?
Harper, one of 2 Phillies to strike out in the first inning against Josh Tomlin, who stranded a base runner in that inning. Stranded one in the second. And dealing with a leadoff runner aboard here.
Doing good, Kenny. Doing good. Phillies are up. Another home run just now by Rhys Hoskins. 2-zip over the Braves. So that's good for me. I like the Phils.
Almost the same exact pitch, Matty. You have the cutter again, 85 miles an hour. This time the cutter gets a little bit more of the plate, measured, and boom. Great swing, nice and tight, balanced, and behind the baseball.
You're a Braves fan. That's funny. Yeah, yeah. My one buddy's a Braves fan up here, so he bet on that Mavericks game. He bet the quarters and he bet at the end, and I think he lost like 2,000. And I said, well, why don't you take the Braves to beat the Phillies tonight? And now the Phillies are up 3-0. So hopefully he didn't listen to me. Yeah, that is nuts. I never would bet like that kind of money. Like, I get on to that FanDuel or whatever it's called, and I put in $50 and I play like $6 parlays and make it last just to have fun. Kenny, here's the link. I don't know if you're interested in buying anything tonight, but there's a link. If not, you want to just hang out and chat, I'm perfectly fine with that too.
Almost identical pitch to the first strikeout. 85-mile-an-hour cutter. He's late. Watch how late he is here. And the reason why he's late as a hitter, when you recognize spin, you're thinking slider or curve.
So you have 7 second-year Lucas and 5 LeBrons from this year. Prism. I know they went up pretty significantly, and now after he hit that game-winning shot tonight, I can only imagine this stuff is going to take a huge... I mean, it started to dip just a little bit because he rolled his ankle the other night, and a lot of people, I think, thought he was not going to play in this game today, and maybe not the rest of the series, and that the Clippers just go on and take it in 5. But after they came back from 21 and he had that huge triple-double. Yeah, it's tough because if you send in anything longer than like 10-day, you know, you're not going to get them back probably before before the Mavs might be out. I don't know. Maybe they'll make a run deep. Maybe they'll get to the finals. I mean, anything can happen in this bubble. But yeah, I have an order in a BGS that went in on May 23rd. And the latest it looks like it may not get back till like October. So it was a 30-day, just some small to medium-sized base rookie card stuff. But that's tough. But the thing is I don't know what those Luka's the second-year prisms, if they 10, same with the LeBrons, if they 10, what they do. But it might be worth. Oh wow, 10 months ago, jeez. But you got to go look at the research, and if it's worth it, I don't know. Well, PSA, how much it costs for like a 2 or 5 day turnaround. 1 or 2 of those Lukas pay for the grading, and the rest of them are all profit. If you get 10s, then it's sort of worth it. If not, that's a tough call. I have stuff that I would love to send in, but I just know that it just takes so long to get it back, and I just don't think I want to send it in and pay that kind of money for grading. So I think I have a Giannis Prism rookie. I should send that one in because that one is definitely worth sending in and paying the extra money. But I feel like if I can't send in like at least 5 to 10 cards, it's like not worth it. So any good Zions? Get any good grades on your Zions, Kenny? Okay. So you'd need to get if you're gonna pay the good money to get those graded to get them back quick. You almost need to have 5 of those 7 Lukas get PSA 10s, and 3 or 4 of the LeBrons to do that, to pay the big money to get them back quicker. I don't know what they're doing raw. You know that probably because you researched it, but if they're doing really solid money raw, maybe worth selling them raw and not wasting money on the grading. I don't know. Phillies just hit another home run. That Didi Gregorius. It's 4-0 now. Oh, which Zions did you get back PSA 10? Oh, yeah, that's a big jump then. 40 up to 500 and 70 up to 600 or 700. Yeah, it might be worth spending the money and sending them off and trying to, weigh the fastest for the least amount of money. Base and silver insert. Nice. Yeah, I have a silver Zion that's BGS 9.5. I think it has 3 9.5s and the centering is a 10. And the centering on those prisms are really tough this year, so I was very happy on that one. But then I hit a gold out of select number to 10, and I sent that in, and it came packed right in. Everything looked nice, and that got a 9. A BGS 9 on it, which I was like, hey, a 9's still great on a card like that. So I still have those. I figure I'll sit back, and usually it's the second and third year that these basketball guys, even if they're like hyped up like Zion and Ja and Luka, it's usually the second or third year where their stuff really establishes itself. at that higher price if they're continue to do what they can do. I can't imagine what Lucas stuff's gonna do next year for what he's doing right now. I mean, the kid his shot could only get better, I would think. So, and if they get themselves a wing shooter, they'll be tough to beat in that West with him and Porzingis.
Is something that you can feel, and the two were courting each other all winter long.
Just a perfect teammate, great parents. There's a lot for
Yeah, no doubt. Yep. Luka, LeBron, Giannis. Them are probably three of the best. Zion and Ja, their stuff is crazy. Although now that both of them are out of the playoffs, their stuff will dip a little bit in the off season. Yeah, I think so. I think definitely they're worth grading, especially if they're only at 40 and 70. That's such a come up. If you get 10s on some of them, that I think you gotta send those in. And that's 12 cards, so you can find a few other cards to throw in with them. I always look at it like when I send in 10 cards, if I can get the good grades and 2 or 3 of those cards, the profit off of them, the high grade pays for pays for the whole grading submission. That's what I'm looking for, and then the rest of the other 7 cards or 8 cards, it's all profit then. What you make off the grade. So. Yeah, that is crazy. I myself usually don't let stuff lay around. Like, I have what I have for me, and I usually move stuff here and there, trade, sell. Sometimes I keep some things and I set up at a show, but those types of cards, they're easy to be sitting there because you never think that base cards of those guys are gonna get crazy. Yeah, those Lucas that were doing 40, by the end of tonight, they might be doing 60 or 70. And then, can you imagine if the Mavs come back and win Game 5? And Porzingis plays and they beat them in Game 5, and they're up 3-2. Wow. And then if they knock off the Clippers in the first round, that would be crazy.
This is the topic on our T-Mobile question of the night. T-Mobile, your ticket to the game in this week's Sunday Night Baseball Fan Bowl.
I was watching Kawhi Leonard, man. He's a great player, great shooter. Man, when he drives, almost every time he takes his right hand and he pushes off to get his space, and they never call that. That drives me nuts. Yeah. My buddy that had all that money on that game, he was pretty mad too. He texted me right away. He goes, "Did you see that push off?" And I'm like, "Yep." I said every single time. He gets all the calls. The last game, he sort of like tripped and took like 4 steps and then passed the ball, and they called a foul on the Mavs guy. And I'm like, where was the call for the walk? So... I guess when you win 2 NBA titles and MVPs, they just give you a little extra room for some of that stuff. Hopefully Luka starts getting some of them calls.
He's going to turn into an absolute monster. He's such a well-rounded player. The speed, the defense, the whole thing. You can see him putting the whole thing together. What a difficult choice.
Yeah, it's tough not to like the kid. I mean, he's 21 and he's been playing with adults since what, he's 13 or 14 over in Europe. So I don't think any big time game will make him nervous. He's played in the European Championship. So yeah, and he's only 21. So can you imagine his career? If it plays out and he doesn't get any kind of injuries that would sideline him for a long time. I mean, LeBron, I think, is 35. LeBron wasn't doing this in his second year. He was good, don't get me wrong. But he wasn't doing this stuff in his second year. So, Luka might be this generation's GOAT, I guess you'd call it. I'm fortunate. I got to see Michael Jordan play his whole career. I got to see LeBron play his whole career. And now, hopefully, I'll live long enough to see Lucas play his whole career. Yeah, I got to see Jordan a bunch of times down in Philly. So I'm going to take the camera and show you something, Kenny, really quick. This is my prized possession up here above everything. It's my Jordan autographed jersey. I've had it for many, many years. I think they're doing pretty big right now. I haven't checked lately because I don't plan on ever selling it. But I do have a nice Luka collection that I have stashed away. So I'm hoping that he does have a good career. Maybe I can pay off my daughter's college when that time comes around here. She's just a freshman right now. Just left for college 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Well, Kenny, I had the 03-04 LeBron 3-color patch exquisite to 99, and I sold it back in 04-05 because I never thought a modern card would get higher than what it was at the time. And everybody that knows I had that card reminds me about it all the time. And especially since that one just sold for $1.8 million, the 1/23, the parallel. They're all like, "Oh, you could have been a millionaire with that card." I said, "Well, what can you do?" Uh-oh, here comes the Braves. 2 runs. Freeman with a 2-run double off the wall. There's your Braves, Kenny.
Freeman getting the sinker, fading away, hitting it away. Head down. That classic.
Yeah, well, I think the prices of the boxes got so big that the secondary market on the single cards, no matter what they were, had to sort of go along with the prices of the boxes a little bit. Otherwise, it doesn't substantiate how much the boxes are. If there's not big cards coming out of them. But right now is not a time to sell Zion. Right now is a time to sit back and wait. And maybe in about 6 to 8 weeks, that's when you look at starting to buy some Zions and some Jaws. That's when you'll get some decent deals on them, I believe.
Nobody would have guessed that the Braves in
I would, because they're dropping right now. Just because they're not playing. Out of sight, out of mind. That's the way it happens with the sports cards. So, as soon as a guy is out, they're not playing, and nobody's getting to see him. They're not on ESPN getting shown the highlights or the bottom line, showing their stats. You know, they start to drop. And it happens every year with every single guy. Last summer, you could have bought Lucas Silvers for $300 to $400 raw. You know, all day long. Not just like one of them, like every one of them was that. And now, I wish I would have bought 10 of them. But that's just the way it goes. You know. So the good thing about the offseason this year is I believe the NBA is supposed to start back up around December the 1st. The next season starts. So there's not going to be a long layoff before, you know, this whole playoff scenario ends and then a new season starts. So, you know, there won't be as long of a layoff, I guess I would say. So yeah, I would hold, and then next year when he plays and he's healthy and he's, you know, I think that they're going to make some moves. They already fired the coach, and I think they're going to make some moves to try to bring in a little bit of veteran leadership to go along with him. I mean, they got some good trade bait if they want to get rid of Ingram, Drew Holiday, Lonzo Ball. And there's teams out there would love to have those guys. I mean, I might keep Ingram because I like the way he plays. But they could have that Nickeil Alexander-Walker kid, you know, be their point guard and trade away Lonzo Ball. So, but they definitely need another shooter, and they definitely need a big man. I mean, I think they have Derek Favors there, and he's not bad, but doesn't seem like he gets after it like some of these other centers. Yeah, Kenny, unless somebody offers you like a crazy amount of money for them that's over eBay comps, you know, and where you can go and rebuy or something, I'd probably hold. I'm hoping to get that BGS order back before they start playing again, because I think I have 6 Trae Young Prism base in there. So hopefully, I get a few of those at 9.5. Love to see a 10. I don't have the luck to get a black label.
Hits have come in 2 strike counts. Full count to him, 3-2.
And home plate umpire Roberto Ortiz, very tight in the strike zone.
Bader. Which is that the kid that plays for St. Louis, or is that a UFC guy? Or not UFC, Bellator. Oh, Harrison Bader. Okay. Nice. Did you see last? Oh, now it's 4-3. Braves are coming back. Did you see? Not last Tuesday. The Tuesday before that, I pulled out of Finest the Nico Heischer Auto Superfractor 101 for somebody on here. Out of Finest. That was crazy.
Well, that is the part of Alec Bones' game that is still evolving. It's not an easy hop, by the way. It's going to be scored as an RBI base hit.
Man on first, 1 out, bottom of the third. Phils are winning 4-3. That's Zach Eflin for you. Yeah, that was a big 101. I don't know what that card does, but I know the Bowman Chrome from a couple years ago for Nico. Somebody had it out there for like $49,000. You know, buy it now, best offer. I don't think it's a $49,000 card for the Bowman Chrome. But if the kid were to get hot here this year or next year, you know, you never know. So I would guess that finest one would be at least a $5,000 card, if not more. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know he's getting it graded, so if he gets a gem out of it, that'll only help, that's for sure.
Bottom of the order, giving Eflin no trouble tonight. But Swanson's got a pair of doubles. Freeman's got a walk and the 2-run double.
Well, I'm going to stay on here probably for another, till about 8:30, I think. It's pretty slow. I'm not sure. Tim. Yeah, I got that one, yeah. Yeah, I got that out of one of the team breaks. And I got the Nats, and I was like, oh, great. I'm not getting anything out of this break. And I was just hoping for like a Soto something. And he pulled that out. I was like, wow. Yeah, it's nice to get big ones like that here and there. But I think I'm going to stay on until about 8:30 here. I don't know if Tim was able to send out the email that I was live. And really there hasn't been many people that have popped on here. So we'll see. See what happens in the next few minutes. A couple more people just popped on. Here's the link. If anybody's interested in getting in on a personal. If not, you want to chat a little bit, that's great. I love talking sports. I love talking sports cards. Yeah, and I think this is the first time I don't know, you know, that anybody's really going live on a Sunday night for personals. So we'll see what happens. Kenny, see what happens. Hang out for a little while. It's a weekend, so people probably are doing stuff on a Sunday and just getting settled in right about now, I would imagine. Tatum had a big game, 28 and 15 against the Sixers. Man, Boston is 9-1 in the last 10 games against the Sixers in the playoffs. Man, they got their number. Without Ben Simmons, I knew the Sixers probably wouldn't have a chance. Not that he's a big-time shooter, scorer, but he definitely opens up the court. Yeah, I think Kenny, they're going to let go of the head coach. And I wouldn't be, as a Sixers fan, I wouldn't be disappointed if they tried to make a move or two. As long as they keep Embiid, I'm fine with that. I mean, I like Ben Simmons, but if the guy ain't ever going to turn into a shooter, You know, he's great, but not super great. Trade him for Luca. Yeah, right. You know, Cuban's going to spend all kind of money trying to get Luca and Porzingis an extra shooter there on that team. Trey Burke's been playing great for them. The Sixers had him, and they let him go once the NBA shut down. And I was like, I like him coming off the bench for the Sixers, and they could have used him in that series against the Celtics, but what are you going to do? Now he's with the Mavs and just extended his career probably another 3 or 4 years with the way he's playing. All right, Phil's got out of that, still winning 4-3, but going to the top of the fourth, so lots of game left there.
That means middle-class families, small businesses, and seniors pay higher taxes. It's the biggest tax increase in history.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
This is a marathon, not a sprint. But we need to go back to work. Our kids need childcare. We need groceries. And sometimes we need a hug. But we also need to be smart. When you have to be around others, you need to wear a mask. It's clear that people without symptoms can be a carrier and spread the virus. So cover your nose and mouth, and let's work together to reach the finish line safely. Our community's health depends on it. Lehigh Valley Health Network. Your health deserves a partner.
So you do this after every relationship.
Do what?
Freak out and shut down. Spend like the next 5 years spinning your wheels.
Let's go dating.
I'm shaking it up. I'm my own boss now.
You go, Eddie!
You're in charge. Lose it. Walk away. Walk that way. You got to have a killer crossover. GNCT crossover. Oh, Jake from State Farm.
Here's the deal. There's no replacing the real Chris Paul.
Man, what happened? I'm the new Chris.
On the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
ESPN's telecast of Major League Baseball presented by Taco Bell is brought to you by Jim Beam and T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network. Lead for the Phillies.
Yeah, that's crazy, Kenny. $3.8 million for the Trout.
Alec Bohm, who connected earlier on his first Major League homer, leads things off. Bohm, Knapp, and Hazley against a new pitcher on the mound for Atlanta. And as Tuki Toussaint takes over on the mound, we're joined by Braves manager Brian Snitker. Snit, thanks for the time. Boys, so with your guys coming back to win all these games late, is there ever any sense that maybe you can take an inning off and just come back in the ninth and watch them win? Because it's been like a cardiac kid story for your Braves this year.
No, I know. I mean, it's been like that for a couple of years. I mean, they're just kind of, even our first.
I had a Trout, just a regular, the 09 Bowman Chrome, just a regular refractor 9.510 about a year and a half ago. Wish I still had that one. Yeah, I think everybody wished they would have paid a little more attention to the guy named Trout.
Most in the National League, and each of those, Brian, as you've watched, have been celebrated with social distancing, kind of jumping and dancing. And that move seems to be evolving as well. Did you choreograph that, or is that the guys on their own?
Yeah, I don't have that in the league. I just kind of sit back and watch, and they've done a really good job of adhering to the protocols and doing the right
do.
Hey Brian, you've been great without Albies and Acuna. Wondering how are they coming along?
They're doing okay. Now, they're getting better every day. Acuna hit full batting practice today. He looks really good. He's probably closer than Ozzy.
Ah, I remember those, yeah.
He's hitting off the tee and
Ryan.
doing some left-handed swinging off coaches. But it's going to be probably a little bit longer for Ozzy than it is Ronald. We got Nick laying in the weeds too. So it'd be good.
Nice.
Rob, we appreciate your time as always. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, I only have one Trout auto. It's out of this year's, I think it's out of this year's tribute number to 25. Ooh, nice. 1 of the 60 made. Sweet. Yeah, I had a PSA 10 update, but I moved it. And then they went nuts.
Just a routine play, just took his eyes off it.
Yeah.
And the Phillies are set up.
He might have been. I know there's plenty of them out there now that you can go buy. It's just that they're not cheap, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, I would have never even have thought to open blasters up back then. Yeah, sometimes the collation, you never know. You just have the wrong blasters, and you end up with one. Then the next guy buys 3 blasters and gets one in each blaster. I think the only thing I ever really got good out of retail is when Bryce Harper was so hot. I opened up a Bowman cello pack and hit the redemption for the Bryce Harper rookie auto. Other than that, I never really had too much luck with retail.
Bases loaded, no outs, 3-0. Should be taking a strike right here in the catcher.
He's taking all the way and takes the ball on the inside corner to make it 3-1. And he didn't like it.
Yeah, send him up there, Kenny. Yeah, Ernie Banks. I met Ernie Banks one time at a signing show, and real nice guy. Kenny, I just top load them up. I put a piece of like tape over the top of them to make sure they don't come out of their top loaders, and then just put them in a box, this little box, and put that in like a bigger padded envelope. That's what I usually do. Yeah, PSA for some reason has really taken off on how much their cards are selling for when you get a 10 versus a 9.5 with BGS. But I think that'll turn around here in another 6 to 12 months. Yeah, PSA definitely would like them in card savers, Ryan. But I have heard of people that sent theirs in top loaders and they didn't get kicked back to them. But right now, with how busy they are, they might get kicked back. I'm not sure. Yeah, if you're gonna send them straight into PSA, I'd probably try to find the card savers, Kenny. If you don't have a local card shop that you can grab some from, you might want to just check out on eBay or even go on to the Facebook site and see if anybody has any that they could sell you, 20 or 25 and probably get to you in a few days. Yeah, send him to Tim. Let him submit for you. Yeah, he'll take care of it.
So he went back to the hitting factory at home and worked on some things, including where he was starting his hands. Take a look at this. Reese last year had his hands high, his whole career actually. Spring training, he showed up and he was starting his hands much lower. Well, sure enough, by Friday's series opener, that is, his hands were back up to where they'd always been. Point is, he was experimenting with the change because he wanted to correct the back second half.
I'm sure Tim will, Kenny, I'm sure if you send him up to Tim, and you want him to go to PSA, I'm sure he'll put them in the card savers for you.
Takes a look at ball, strike three. First time he's been retired tonight.
This is what we call a good miss. He wanted it up, and he got it. Effectively wild. Yeah, man, you're talking about his stance, and very common for hitters to do that. Obviously, Cal Ripken was synonymous with changing stance. But what I like about his approach now is more conducive, more flatter swing, and
Well,
more
that's
contact.
sad to hear on both ends of that.
He has the base, rather Harper now. He has the bases loaded opportunity, and Bryce didn't like that call at all. Struck out twice against Josh Tomlin, both times swinging at cut fastballs.
Parker with 5 career Grand Slams.
Is he going to see a fastball the rest of the night?
Probably not, but this kind
Yeah, right now with China
never gets the plate. Those are
holding out on all these supplies, it's you would think somebody would be able to, a plastic company would be able to make some of this stuff, but by the time they would get it done, the whole China thing may be over and they'll be shipping their stuff. I don't know.
We talked about how good Bryce has been in 2 strike counts tonight, and he's struck out twice. But we'll continue to have that discussion. 7 homers, and 3 of those have come in 2 strike counts. The Phillies believe he's
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Well, everybody, all the people, that have jumped into this hobby / industry over the last 6 to 12 months, that they're all grading. Like everybody, that's the thing. It used to be where, some people would grade. I used to never grade anything. I just liked my cards raw. And then the prices started getting to be to where it's like, wow, if you don't grade it, you're almost like a fool, because of the fact of how much more money you can get if you do decide to sell the cards when they got that high grade. So yeah, that's crazy. I know my local card shop, he doesn't have any of the card savers right now because I was there the other day and somebody asked, he said he didn't have any. Yep, a lot of vintage stuff, not vintage, but like, stuff from the 90s, 2000s, that kind of, stuff. People brought it out, and yeah, people that were like, oh, that's right, Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck rookie, let me get one of those. And next thing you know, they started going up through the roof. And everything across the board. So we'll see. It's quite interesting, how crazy the industry is right now as far as the singles prices, the box price, everything. is up right now. So we shall see. I'm okay with box prices being where they're at as long as the secondary market carries and the singles are doing really well. So.
Paisley reached on the error. RBI singled by McCutcheon. Then Hoskins struck out, and Harper popped down to the infield. 2 balls and a strike. JT Realmuto hit 8 homers in the first 15 games of the year.
Yeah. About the Trout.
Homered 8 times in his team's first 15 games was Hall of Famer Gabby Hartnett with the 1925 Chicago Cubs. And Realmuto pops it up.
Wow. And then you got a 9.5 on top of it. It's nice.
Gets out of a bases loaded, nobody out, jam with only 1 run crossing the plate. 5-3.
Yeah, that's a nice one. From being all by its lonesome self in that box to nice graded 9.5, maybe being displayed over there.
Gillette ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. Use it for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
Don't wait for tomorrow. Make the days count.
Yeah, when you find one of those, you're going to start searching through the rest of your stuff real quick. My problem is I've had so much stuff over the years that I would need to have like a whole nother house just to store everything if I kept it all. And then would, to go back and then search for stuff like that. I usually keep what I like, sell some stuff on eBay, maybe some stuff on Facebook. And I have a local guy who likes to, flip things here and there. And I basically give him a little bit of a deal on a package and let him run with it. So I usually don't keep a lot laying around, so I don't ever get to have that experience of, oh, I was looking through a box and I found this. So. Oh, you had cards at work? You must have a locker there or something to keep them safe in. I'd be afraid my cards would go missing if I left them at work. Wow. Yeah, I'm looking on eBay on the side screen I have here, and I see people are hitting Luka Doncic's like crazy now. Everybody that doesn't have something his feels like they got to have something, so they go out and buy it right away. They know, huh? Nice. Yeah, Ryan, I have a nice extensive Luka collection that that's one thing I've been holding for a while, so. And I don't think I got any Lukas in breaks. I got all of these like last year, and the beginning of this basketball season is when I decided to really jump on board with them. And, at that time stuff was expensive, but nothing like it is now. So most of my stuff is 10, 20 times higher than what I paid for it at this stage. So it's really nice. But I'm just like the kid's 21 and I just can't sell. Even though the price is so high and you'd say, wow, how do you not take that price? I just think next year it's even going to be better because of the fact that I think that Cuban's going to go out and get them a wing shooter and pay good bucks for them, and they'll have a sort of a 3-headed monster instead of a 2-headed monster, and I think the Mavs are going to be contenders for sure. I mean, I think they're contenders right now as long as the guys like Seth Curry and Hardaway Jr., if they're shooting well, they can go deep into these playoffs. They can knock the Clippers off, but, the Clippers are a great team. They got a lot of depth a lot of good shooters, so it's tough. So we'll see. Game 5, day after tomorrow. That's another thing that's going to be interesting with these playoffs is, you know, usually when you have travel days, like sometimes in the playoffs, some teams might have like 3 days off to rest and recover. In these playoffs, it looks like you got 1 day in between each game, the way they're playing in the bubble. Now, I don't know if they're going to give these guys more time as we get deeper in the playoffs and give them 2 days off between games or something like that. But there'll be less games to be played, so I don't know. Right now, there's basically, you know, in the first round, there was 4 games each day. And they could have definitely, but I think they need to get, I don't think there's going to be much time because they want to get the season played and done with because they're not going to have a big, long off season. So the sooner that it's over with, the sooner they get to their off season. So I don't know if we're going to see 2-day breaks between games in these playoffs. So teams that have older players on them, they may wear down later on in the playoffs and be susceptible to getting knocked off. We'll see. We shall see. But I'd love to see the Mavs versus the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. That would be spectacular. And the Celtics are playing really well. Toronto's playing really well. I think the Bucks are starting to play really well after they took that Game 1 loss. So the East between those 3 teams will be pretty interesting, I think. But 2 of those 3 teams are going to play each other in the next round. So we'll see. Yeah, I wish I could find some Prism blasters, Kenny, nowadays. They're expensive. Yeah. Well, hockey's going right now yet. I don't know how long that's going to take. But their off season is not going to be long either. So I don't know when they plan on getting right back at it, but we'll see. As long as we get, I mean, I'd love some college football. But I don't know what we're going to get there. And as long as we have the NFL coming up, that's the big one I think that everybody's hoping for.
Access to health care, affordable prescription drugs, opportunities to save for the future, ending age discrimination, a healthy, financially secure, fulfilling life. That's what AARP fights for because that's what everyone deserves. Join us in fighting for what's right.
T-Mobile and Sprint have merged.
Yeah, I think if anybody would have known, Kenny, how high that those Prism blasters would have gotten to, nobody would have let any of them go. But that's the whole thing. Hindsight's 20/20, and I mean, if you only knew, you know, and so, you know, the people that have very deep pockets, you know, that can afford to sit on some things like that, you know, they're the ones that make out.
If you were to attend a party with all of history's most influential people, the creators, the innovators, the pioneers, you'd notice a common theme. But if you were to choose one mother or father to throw such a party,
Then you also have to have that sustaining power to not want to open it yourself while it's sitting in your possession. So that's the second part of that whole equation.
Never too early to mark calendars, August 22nd, 2021.
And you said a picture with Bryant growing up in Vegas. Chris Bryant was missing from that picture, the third great major leaguer.
Regular Murderers Row. Gregorius, Segura, and Bone here in the 5th against Tukey Tucson, who got himself off a sharp hook, loaded the bases with nobody out last inning, and limited the damage at only 1 run. guys think Mike Trout will be in demand in Williamsport next year with those Little League? I think the reason the Angels are playing in that game is everything.
Oh, wow. I got to go up to the Little League World Series now next year. The Angels are playing Mike Trout. That'll be a madhouse up there. It's only about a little over 2 hours from me, Williamsport. So Trout will be in town. Might have to try to get me some sort of piece of memorabilia to see if I can get close enough to get it signed. That would be awesome. I'll just wear an Eagles jersey. He's a big Eagles nut.
Quick pitch split. Up and away, just don't finish. See, they just couldn't finish.
Still fully Gregorius. So the Braves not enjoying the kind of starting pitching success that they thought they'd benefit from at this stage of the season.
5-3 Phils, top of the fifth. And no out, man on first. Yeah, I don't think I would get that because I would want it for myself. I'd find something of the Angels. Yeah, I'd find something of the Angels. Probably a jersey. Jersey would probably be the easiest thing to carry around with you. Like a full-size helmet would be like, doesn't really, I mean, you could throw it in your backpack or whatever, but taking a big, like, any kind of, like, lithograph or poster or picture is probably tough with so many people around. You'd probably get that ruined. And every year up there, it rains one day really bad, usually at the Little League World Series, so probably a jersey would be the safest. But I bet you he'd sign that Eagles jersey. Be right back.
One start as a Royal after being on the sidelines, and then is in demand. I mean, stranger things have happened. Rich Hill turned a great four-start audition with the Red Sox at the end of the 2014 season, I believe, into a deal with the Oakland A's, to a trade with the Dodgers, to a 3-year deal in his late 30s.
Matty, another great example is I played with a guy, Jamie Moyer, when he got to Seattle, people said he was done.
Guys who are in here, here's the link if anybody's interested in a personal. Got plenty of variety to choose from. If not, you want to just hang out and chat a little bit, that's perfectly fine also. Let me know if anybody's got any Luka PSA 10 silvers for like $100. I'm in. I'm a buyer.
He won over 200 games after that. So, really pitched for another 10 years. Embarrassing evaluation by a sports writer. That's why I do what I do.
Kenny, I bought a Luka Prism PSA 9 silver, the rookie, back in November. Might have been early December, but I think I paid like $380 for it off of eBay. And then back in February, I sent some cards and they had graded, and it's a BGS, so I decided to crack the PSA 9 out just to see, what BGS would give it, and I got a 9.5 on it. So that was a nice, resub, I guess you'd call it. So
as sparingly as the opportunities may be for Knapp, he hasn't played a lot. He's 9 for 18. Being a backup catcher to JT Realmuto ain't such a bad seat.
Tuki Toussaint
Tyler Matson will
out.
be the new pitcher for the Atlanta Braves when we come back.
Braves are putting in a new pitcher.
T-Mobile and Sprint have merged, and T-Mobile doesn't just have a bigger network, but a better one than ever before, with scam protection built into its core. Introducing Scam Shield, free from T-Mobile. Get fewer scam calls, period. With T-Mobile's supercharged network, you can say goodbye to annoying scam calls and feel free.
Guys, I'm going to make a last call here. I think I'm going to jump off around 9. It's been pretty slow here tonight. Good chat, though. Very good chat. Appreciate that. So, I got to work at the hospital tomorrow morning, so. Last call. If anybody's interested in anything, let me know. Otherwise, it was nice hanging out. All right, Kenny, have a good night. Thanks for coming on and chatting with me. Appreciate it. Good luck with those grades if you send them off.
Hold on 1 second. Sure. Okay. Safe driver, save 40%. Guys. Hey, safe driver, save 40%. Safe driver, save 40%. Safe driver, save 40%. That's safe driver, save 40%.
It is. That's safe drivers save 40%.
It's right there.
It's here. It's right here.
That's totally it. That's totally the guy.
Safe drivers do save 40%. Click or call or quote today.
Want to clap or cheer for your favorite team even when you're not at the ballpark? Now you can with MLB's Cheer at the Ballpark. Visit MLB.com/cheer for a full list of cheerable games and let your team hear your excitement from home. But lefty Tyler Matson has not thrown baseball on big league ground since Tuesday. It's a great story. A guy that was out of baseball back in 2017, pitched an independent ball the following year, rejoined the Braves, and pitched in 3 levels of their minor league system in 2019. Here he is in the big leagues, and trying to bail out Tucson with runners aboard, 1 gone. 2 balls in those strikes is the penalty and Harris. Snap sends a ground ball to shortstop. Swanson to Camargo, back to first, not in time.
Little two-seamer dead fish here. First and third now for the Phillies.
How many times in your career did you face a new pitcher the other way around? That doesn't happen very often.
If I had to guess, Matty, probably less than 3.
Yeah.
Does not happen often.
I mean, maybe sometimes a guy gets hurt, maybe we understand that, but to be pulled in the midst of a 2-0 count.
2-0 going from as a switch hitter from lefty to righty there.
So here's Adam Hazley now. Runners in the corners and 2 gone, and Hazley is pulled for a pinch hitter. Roman Quinn is going to bat for him. The fastest man on the Philadelphia roster. With a chance off the bench.
Now, Matty, the score's 5-3, but if you're the Phillies and Girardi, you gotta play like a team. With the Phillies bullpen, you have to add that in the back. You have to add these runs at third base are so important.
Quinn tried to check it and did on the appeal. 2 balls and no strikes. Phillies have runners at the corners without the benefit of a base hit this inning. Couple of walks and a fielder's choice play. 3-0 now. of them this year.
Win with only one walk all year.
Trying to keep it alive for Andrew McCutcheon, who's next, and is swinging the bat very well. He's got a couple of hits tonight. Phillies have led ever since the homer by Bohm in the second. Here's the next 3-2, and there's ball 4. The third walk of the inning. You know, if the Phillies bullpen falters tonight, they won't be entirely responsible for what happens because, to your point, Alex, bases loaded in the fourth with nobody out. Phillies get just 1 run. The bases are loaded here in the fifth with 2 gone. So here's McCutcheon. A bases loaded at bat for Andrew McCutcheon in back-to-back innings. Singled with the Sox.
All right, guys. Well, I am going to log off for the evening. I appreciate those who stopped in to chat. Hope everybody has a good rest of their Sunday night and stay safe out there. I will be back live on Tuesday night. So catch y'all later.